So here in my wallet is a card that I recently applied for, and that is gonna be the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now in the process of me applying for this card, I had a whole bunch of questions like the benefits, how it actually compares to some of the other competing cards, and whether or not it's still worth it, because it has an annual fee of $550. It's a hefty annual fee. And in this video, if you're someone who's looking to apply for this card, or maybe you have this card already, it's gonna be perfect for you. I'm gonna be going over all of that information in this video, the details on everything you need to know. And by the end of this video, you'll have a full understanding of this card and whether or not you should actually get it. First of all, to compare how this card feels, it is actually like in between my Amex green card and then the Amex platinum card that I have. The platinum card is by far a lot more thicker. It's a lot more sturdier. Like you can see, I can barely bend this bad boy here. But with the reserve card right here, it bends pretty easily. Now here's one more card. If I compare it to the Amex green card, the green card you can pretty much fold. Dang, I folded this joint a little too much. Oh man, it's like, dang it. All right, that works. Now going into the details of the card, first of all, the most important thing is usually the welcome bonus offer. This is where you can accrue a whole bunch of points without doing much, spending money that you're gonna spend anyways. And for this card, currently it's at 60,000 bonus points after you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months from account opening. Now Chase on their website actually values that at $900 towards travel when you redeem it for the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal. And that's because with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you get a 1.5x boost on the points whenever you redeem it through the Ultimate Rewards portal. I'll show you guys what that looks like, some of the benefits from using it as well, because it's very simple. It's like Expedia basically, or like a travel booking website where you can find hotels, airlines, whatever it is in order to redeem your points for value there. Going back to the welcome bonus offer, one thing that I wish Chase did that I know American Express actually does is the fact that they make those welcome bonus offers extend for a 6-month period rather than a 3-month period, because not a lot of people have issues usually spending $4,000 in 3 months, but there are going to be some people who do. If you happen to be traveling a lot, you know, you can knock that out with the flights you get and the hotel you get and even some of the food that you're eating, and naturally you should be able to hit it fairly soon. But for the people who can't, it would be nice to extend it for 6 months, but that's just the way Chase has been for a really long time. Now, when you do get this card, the annual fee is not going to post right away, but it will post roughly a month after you open your account, and then you get charged on your second statement. So because I got this card like 2 weeks ago and it says my closing date was like the 3rd week of the month, I would expect for me to get that annual fee posted on my account in about another month from then. Once you get hit with that first annual fee, you then have 12 months after that before the next annual fee posts. So sometimes people confuse the annual fees at posting at like January 1st at the beginning of every calendar year, but it's actually 12 months anytime you open your card. Now, before we go into whether this card is worth it or not, we still need to break down, first of all, the annual fee versus the return on value you get from some of the benefits that the card offers. Now, I know $550 sounds like a lot, and trust me, it is, especially when you have like 4 different cards now that are all holding annual fees. It really starts adding up. For me, like I'm paying, I think, close to $3,000 every single year just to hold my credit cards. But if we break it down, or even just break down the singularity with this card in its bare bones, think about it like this. $550 divided by 12 is gonna be $45.83 to hold this card every month. If we break that down at what it looks like per week, that's about $11.45 every week in order to hold this card. If you are traveling though, and you have access to some of the Sapphire lounges, we'll talk about that, or even like the welcome bonus offer you get, or even just simply put the 5 to 10x rewards that you get on their revamped benefits of travel spending you would do, you could find that you're getting outsized value pretty quick. So with this card, what do you get exactly? Well, you're gonna earn 5x total points on flights and then 10x total points on hotels and car rentals when you book through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal after the first $300 is spent on travel purchases annually. Now, the reason that they post that little $300 statement is the fact that when it comes to travel, this card is so great because they give you a $300 travel credit, and with Chase, it's just super easy to use. So unlike American Express, where it seems like it's a dedicated coupon book, you can't spend all your credits all at once. They restrict you in spending it in proportions every single month to make sure you continue using that card. This is easy. If you have like a $300, flight flight or anything, like even a $500 flight, they will automatically deduct the $300 travel credit right there. So that right there is really easy to use and knock out. Effectively, that brings down the annual fee from $550 to just $250 every year. We're not going to even take into consideration the $60,000 welcome bonus offer, because if we did, then that would put you in the net positive by a long shot for that first year. What I do want to mention though is some of the other card earning benefits that you get. So you get 3x points on dining at restaurants, including eligible delivery services like takeout and dining out. And then you'll also earn 3x points on other travel worldwide. And then you get 2x points on Chase dining purchases. Now with that one right there, I actually haven't used it myself and I don't know how viable it is. So I'm not going to actually take that into consideration, but it is nice to know that you could potentially earn 10x points on your dining. So no other card that I know offers 10x back. Now, if you combine that also with the Chase 1.5x point booster from the Ultimate Rewards portal, that right there is a serious whopping benefit and really just starts giving you money back onto your card. Now, on top of that, you get complimentary airport lounge access. So they state that you can get up to 1,300 VIP lounge access in 500 cities worldwide. And I will say this, Chase has been doing a fantastic job in upping their Chase Sapphire lounge experience. Now, a lot of people will get American Express to stay at the Centurion lounges, but those have been getting extremely overcrowded for the past few years, where even American Express has had to limit the amount of people staying at their Centurion lounges by charging additional guests those fees. With the Sapphire lounges, I've only heard great things. I've seen some vlogs of it, some like Instagram stories of it. It looks clean. You get a lot better food experience. You get a lot better customer service experience, and you're not up in other people's backside sniffing up their armpits. Now, on top of that, this card is also going to give you global entry or TSA pre-check or a Nexus fee credit, and that comes in a statement credit on up to $100 every 4 years as reimbursement for the application fee that's charged to your card. A lot of people won't mention this, but I think it is worth mentioning, because if you do get this card, it also comes with a pretty sick referral bonus offer where you can earn up to 50,000 bonus points per year, and you can earn 10,000 bonus points for each friend that gets approved for the card that you have. So pretty large welcome bonus offer. You get rewards on travel and dining, and you also get a 50% boost when redeeming those points for travel. That right there is pretty phenomenal, but it actually goes into even more benefits than that. With the Chase Sapphire Reserve, or even if you have the Chase Sapphire Preferred, you get access to the Ultimate Rewards portal, which also allows you to transfer your points out to other partners, where you can even find better redemptions, more than the 50% boost that you normally get. Now, when it comes to the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal, I actually have had really good experiences. I've seen a lot of good value. It's not one of those travel portals where they charge you more than the hotels and they say you're getting a good deal when you're not. It's been pretty consistent on behalf of my travel bookings, but you definitely have to put a little bit more research in. Regardless, if you do want to get the best value possible for your card, it's always going to result in you transferring your points out with any one of their partners, and then from there getting an even better value natively within their own website. Now, some of their transfer partners include Aer Lingus, Air France, Air Canada, British Airways, Emirates, Iberia, JetBlue, Singapore Airlines, Southwest United, Virgin Atlantic, and then their hotels. You get a 1-to-1 hotel transfer rate with Hyatt, and you can also transfer your points to IHG and Marriott Bonvoy. A recent addition they also added to the Reserve card is the fact that you get 10 points per $1 spent on Lyft rides through March 2025, and then you also get 7 bonus points on top of the 3 points per $1. Now, on top of that, you also get a free Dash Pass membership for up to 12 months when you activate the benefit by December 31st, 2024. So after that, I don't know if this limited promotion is going to last. Sometimes these banks do tend to extend it, but to play it on the safe side, if you apply for this card before the end of December 31st of next year, you'd be good to go. With this benefit here, you pretty much just pay no delivery fees on orders up to $12, and then Dash Pass would normally be a $10 per month benefit. So when it comes to the travel benefits of this card, let's go into more detail. Now, because this is a card that has a much higher annual fee, it's in a tier that's in a class above your regular ordinary cards, where this is considered to be a Visa Infinite card. From here, you get access to even more benefits. You usually get a bigger credit limit. And on top of that, this card more specifically also gives you no foreign transaction fees. So if you're taking a little trip to Cancun or the Bahamas or anywhere internationally outside of the US, normally if you use a credit card, they charge charge you a 3% foreign transaction fee, but this card is going to waive it completely. With this card too, it also comes with a bunch of other protections. So this includes a purchase protection where on up to 120 days, you get protections on theft or damage for up to $10,000 per item and $50,000 per year. You get return protection, which allows you to get coverage for 90 days after purchase on up to $500 per item and $1,000 per year. And then you get extended warranty where they add an additional extra 1 year of the manufacturer's warranty of 3 years or less if you buy a product using your card. All that stuff is great. So if you use this card, you're shopping a lot with it, something happens to your item, you could rely on Chase and their insurance programs to be able to help you out. Aside from that, travel protection for this card is actually really good too. So if you happen to be renting your car with Hertz or any one of those agencies, if you decline their primary insurance coverage, save yourself a couple $100. You can then go ahead and have coverage on up to $75,000 against collision or theft if you go ahead and just book it with your Chase Sapphire Reserve card. These three next benefits are also fantastic for anyone who's primarily using this for travel. So this is going to be trip cancellation or interruption insurance. You get trip delay reimbursement, and then you also get lost luggage reimbursement. So for trip cancellation, you'll get reimbursed for up to $10,000 per person and up to $20,000 per trip if you have to cancel or cut short your trip just because of sickness, weather, and or other covered situations. And then the reimbursement applies only to prepaid non-refundable travel expenses. So basically, if your airline is like, okay, we're not going to be canceling your flight, and you're like dying in bed with the flu or something, you literally can't travel, this would come in handy. You also have trip delay reimbursement. So anytime I've traveled, at least the past few times, I've been seeing a lot of things getting delayed. It turns out if you are booking airlines, trains, bus, or any other ticketing experiences, and the delay lasts for more than 6 hours or requires an overnight stay, you're going to be covered for up to $500 per ticket for reimbursed expenses. So, if you get delayed enough and you got to eat so you don't starve, you can pretty much put all those charges on your card and then file a claim after that and just show them proof that your trip was delayed and that, you needed to buy a new iPhone charger so that your phone wouldn't die, or, you needed to buy some snacks or some water or have a meal. You'll have up to $500 per ticket on getting covered there. And then if you ever lose your luggage, and quick little tip or trick, guys, always put an AirTag in your luggage. Comes in so handy. But if you do that and they still lose it, you can get up to $3,000 of coverage per passenger if your checked or carry-on luggage is damaged or lost by the airline. So, I got a pretty expensive suitcase. I got one of them Rimowas, but I bought it in Korea for a little bit of a discount. It was a great deal back there. If that Rimowa happens to get damaged, they throw it around, and I bought it using this card right here, I would have protection as well. So those are going to be all of the main benefits that you need to know about the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So is it worth it? Now, before we get into the details on that, if you are interested in applying for this card, be sure to check out the link down below in the description or scan the QR code on your screen. These are affiliate links. They support this channel at no cost to you. And I know for a fact right now, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, this is going to be the highest welcome bonus offer that you can get. So to answer the question though, is this card worth it? Simply put, yes. If you travel often, then the high earning rates on this card is going to easily justify that annual fee. But even if you're a homebody, if you still find value in the DoorDash and Lyft benefit and you use the travel credit for everyday things like taking an Uber, taking a transit, using the metro, you'll find that you can still find value in this card. Also, another fun fact to just even prove the point that this card is worth it, it was even reported that this right here cost JP Morgan $200 million in Q4 of, I believe, 2018, just because of all the benefits that they gave. Now, going through multiple articles on this, I saw a common theme where one analyst had noted that it would take about 5 years for JP Morgan Chase to even break even on this card. Now, the only other question that comes up then is, would you then get the Chase Sapphire Reserve, or would you get a card like the Amex Platinum? Okay, so as someone who literally has both in their hand right now, and for someone who's actually had the Platinum card for a longer period of time, let me tell you this. Amex definitely offers a lot more luxury travel perks that I find considerable value in. Even with that though, I realize the Platinum card will still give you outsized value, but you do need to do a lot more work, and its annual fee is still going to be much higher than the reserves. I'd say for 80% of the people out there, the Chase Sapphire Reserve is going to be the best premium credit credit card for spending on travel and for earning rewards on things like dining as well. Now, if you're really balling on a budget, then I'd actually recommend the Capital One Venture X card to be considered as one of the most sleeper premium tier credit cards. But I would say this, if you travel often and you travel enough, definitely within the first year, the lineup of having all three cards still makes sense. If you're traveling even just once or twice a year, but those happen to be, longer 1 week stays, I still believe that you can get positive value either way. If I could do it all over again, I would not change a single thing. And what I had done was get the Chase Sapphire Preferred card first during a time I knew I wasn't traveling that much. And it was a time when I was much more broke than I am today. So I would get that card. I would then downgrade that card or cancel that card after holding it and getting the welcome bonus offer. And then I would wait 4 years and then apply for the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. And then if I started to travel in between that time, I would get the Capital One Venture X card or pick up the Amex Platinum card, which is actually what I did instead. Now, with the current setup I have now, I don't plan on canceling the Chase Sapphire Reserve. I'm going to hold on to this card for as long as I see possible. And that's just because without any of these Sapphire cards, you do not have access to the Ultimate Rewards portal. So right now I have over 1 million points within my Chase account, and all of that is just sitting in there, and I don't want to redeem it for not being able to get more than at least 3 to 5 cents per point. So that means 1 million points, 1 to 1. I believe that's about $10,000. But if I was able to get a 3 to 5 cent point redemption rate on those same points, it would go from $10,000 worth of value in travel to $30,000 to even $50,000 worth of benefits. Now, if you guys are ever curious on how I was able to accrue over 1 million points, I actually made a ton of videos on my channel talking about that. So be sure to watch over some of our older videos there. Last but not least, how do you get approved for this card? Well, it's all over the place. Like someone within our Facebook group, by the way, we hit 35,000 members in that group. We're opening up our Discord soon enough too. If you guys want to join that, link for it is down below in the description. But someone had an 800 credit score and they got denied for the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now, on the other hand, I've seen people with a 650 credit score getting approved too. At the end of the day, it's all about knowing the rules, how many cards you have, because don't forget, Chase has something called the 524 rule, where if you've applied for more than 5 cards within a 24-month period, they're going to automatically deny you, even if you have an 850 credit score. Generally, even though this card is considered to be the flagship, premier, best card that you can get with Chase, aside from the JP Morgan Reserve card, this is still pretty easy to get. Now, I highly recommend that if you have a score of at least 680, 700, you'll still be good. Now, I'd say you have a 90% chance of still getting approved for the Chase Sapphire Reserve card as long as you fit under the criteria of the rules that they set. So guys, if you want to learn more about the card, be sure to check out the links down below in the description. On top of that, I also have a pinned comment if you guys do want to check out the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now, by the way, guys, at the end of April 2024, I'll be in Canada for the 2nd annual Prince of Travel Summit. If you guys want to go ahead and join me there, network, whatever it is, be sure to check out the link down below in the description. I have a coupon code for you guys to use as well if you want to pick up a ticket. And I'd love to meet y'all in person. This is a fascinating event for anyone who's getting into the credit card space. You're trying to learn more about point redemptions and miles and things like that. So link for that is down below. Thank you all so much again for watching this video. If you guys have any other questions on how this card stacks up with other cards, or you want my 6-month or 1-year update on it, definitely let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to make that video for y'all. Stay beautiful, stay blessed, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.